Hey, before we get started, we want to talk about the presenting sponsor of this show, and that's none other than Miller Lite. Shout out to them. We will be at Bourbon Street in Marionette Park this weekend with Miller Lite, watching the Bears versus Buccaneers. So come on out, have a few Millers, and hopefully help us right this ship.
It's circle the wagons time. It's week 2. We got to get everybody together. Vibes got to be good. Miller's got to be going down.
Redemption beers.
Yeah.
Redemption beer. Sorry, I spilled my water all over me. But yeah, it's Miller Lite time.
The colder, the better. The Miller Lights.
Love them when they're cold.
Rico jumping in.
Love them when they're cold.
Ice the motherfucker.
Little Millers. It's Miller time all season long. From kickoff till the clock runs out, you can't go wrong with a Miller Lite in your hand because it's the only beer that's a light beer that's worthy of our national obsession because it's a beer that tastes like beer. Make it Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door when you visit MillerLite.com/redline, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Hope to see everybody out there at Bourbon Street. We'll need basically the whole city to fill it up, but at the same time, whoever comes out,
it's the biggest bar in America.
Yeah, it's the biggest bar in America. We'll be excited to see you. We'll be excited to watch the game with you. So come on out, Marionette Park, Bourbon Street, noon kick, Bears Bucks, Miller Lite. See you there. All right, Big Bang. Welcome to the Mid Show, presented by Miller Lite. Full crew today. We also have Rico Bosco sitting in.
What's
He's
up?
in town. It's great to have you in studio. Last time we saw you, Post Maloned up.
Yeah. Yes, I forgot that was coming out. That was Case Race was eventful. So then, like, to see that, and I'm like arguing, like, this team's whatever. It was also a long day, and you knew you were like, I saw I got chirped saying Jack Smith and Jigbo's and still in college. Like, it all runs together. You could have a brain fart here and there, but
we have them exclusively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was just a wild day. Looking back at that, I'm like, oh my god, this came out like fucking. Should have went back to figuring out how to edit the face. I think every once in a while I should do that. You come in and they do the cutaways of the heads for throwbacks.
Actually,
maybe on April Fool's Day.
Just talked about it on yesterday's dog walk about how when I had you on way back 2019 and I put Silvio Dante's head on you.
Yeah,
Still hiding your identity. Yeah,
that was wild. Yeah,
That was incredible.
That was a great one.
We were talking about that the first time we met you. You had what was it? You had the rainbow.
Yeah,
rainbow
like Italian cookies
Yes.
or something.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. They say too. That's a big chirp out there. They're like, "You've been downhill ever since you showed your face." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, thanks." I don't know. It's like,
Well, that's it. That's how it always is.
it's like Fonzie. I had to
the era of
explain.
mystery.
I know I was chokeholding Pat Bev yesterday, but I had to explain to Pat Bev what Jump the Shark was. That's when things go. You don't even know what it is, or you
No,
do.
it's from Arthur Fonzarelli.
Yeah. You go downhill. So I was like, certain things like Jump the Shark. So maybe that's when I jumped the shark. Who knows?
Shout out John Hine. You know who that is? He works on
Stern.
Yes, he works on Stern. He worked for TV Guide, I believe. And he coined that phrase because it was from.
Oh, and then he had the
Happy
website Jump the so you could go on. It's one of my dad when we first got internet in like '97. It was my dad's favorite website. It was like jumptheshark.com.
Yeah,
and you can vote on the different shows. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and because what? So Happy Days, there was a moment where Fonzie was water skiing and he jumps a shark, and they say
that was it. They said they never got the show back.
Yes, and that's where it's like a phrase where obviously everyone knows when something goes downhill.
Right. And it was like such a preposterous, like they had a shark like in a cage in the ocean that he had to jump, like water ski, jump over it.
I got to watch this scene sometime. Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Really?
And I used to love like Nick at Night, where they would show in the summers, like you would watch like the old shows. I used to love Happy Days. And even as I was probably like 9, 10, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
When did Nick at Night jump the shark?
I think they just stopped making quality programming.
2008.
2000? No, probably earlier than that.
Or a little bit earlier than that, but 2008 they started putting the Carlos Mencia show on Nick at Night. Or no, I'm sorry.
I mean, they had a big hole. They
Hold
lost
on.
Cosby.
You mean George Lopez?
George Lopez.
They lost Cosby. That's a big hole to fill.
If you were gonna reboot Nick at Night,
George Lopez, the George.
You
Maybe
didn't like
clean that up, Danny.
You didn't like waking up in the middle of the night to.
No, I did think the daughter. She was around our same age. She was definitely like attractive, and the mom was attractive. But when they started, like, you want to watch old shows.
Yeah.
And the best Nick at Night show should be the Wonder Years.
Okay,
Wonder Years should have ran for an hour. Should have given you 2 back to back.
Why don't they just reboot Nick at Night now? Pick 5 shows from the 80s and 90s and just do that now, like they did for those shows that came out in the 60s and the 70s. Why don't we do that? Why
Are
don't
we
we
sure?
pitch
Are
that?
we? Are we sure that they don't?
I don't even know if Nickelodeon is still a channel, if I'm being honest.
It is.
Oh, it
yeah.
is.
It is?
I don't know what they're running
It's
at 8,
huge.
9, 10 o'clock.
What do you
at night.
mean? You knew that.
No, I didn't. We watched that documentary about the
If you
death
would
of
have said,
Nickelodeon.
if you would have
Yes.
said Nick at Night's not a channel, then I would have been
Well,
like, yeah,
Nick at
you
Night,
Nick at
was
Night was
just
a gimmick.
Nickelodeon at night.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't
I thought Nick
SpongeBob
at Night
still
or
making?
what? Nick, they had a classic Nick channel exclusively.
That
Yeah.
became late. Yeah, that's I don't even
That's
say-
where they
that's
show, like, Global
where
Guts,
they're
though,
putting
right?
back Global Guts and Doug and stuff like that. Nick at Night was a gimmick. It's like, all right, we're gonna have 3 hours or 2
Right.
hours of
Fucking Mork and
Happy Days at
Mindy,
8,
yeah.
Mork and Mindy, Wonder Years, like,
And
and they used to do
I
little
Dream of
gimmicks. I
Jeannie.
remember they did
And
an
I- yeah,
instant.
that was the
They
other
did an instant gratification night. They're like, "Do you hate?" Which is crazy in the day of streaming. We sound so fucking old right now. They're like, "Do you hate watching an episode and it leaves to be continued, and you're wondering what happened, and then you miss the next one?" And it's like,
Yeah.
we have instant gratification Wednesday, and they're gonna put
Yep.
the cliffhanger part 1 and part 2 back to back, because normally they would do it each night. Like if they left it to be continued, you would then have to come back tomorrow night and watch it without
Right,
streaming.
yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
had it on video. It's like
May-
just a wild comment. But
Maybe I'm wrong. It looks like they gave Nick Jr. their own channel, standalone channel since 2009.
So right now it's looking like most of Nick and Night's programming is reruns of Friends and Mike and Molly.
Mike and Molly.
See, like they would be better off with, like you said, Wonder Years.
I mean,
Brady
no.
Bunch.
No,
Personally, yeah.
no to Wonder Years.
I like Wonder Years better, but Friends is huge. What
But
do you mean
Friends
they'd be
is fucking
better
Oh,
off?
yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
They'd
All
be
right, so
better off.
better off is a different
Friends is
term.
everywhere, though.
But still, it's Friends. There's a reason why.
It's
Friends.
It's not necessarily better off. It's just what we want more.
Totally.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's
I
why
would-
I mean MTV made that decision. Like, what should we do? Just run ridiculousness. People are gonna watch. It works in a room. Like,
Exactly.
But do you think MTV is better off?
no, absolutely not.
Right.
That's a different term.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think Nick at Night, if they leaned into, because every nostalgia is back. Like if you want to have Friends on at 11, but give me Wonder Years.
Brady
what-
Bunch.
I was not a big Brady Bunch. I feel like it's too old. I'm like
My ideal lineup,
Family Matters,
Growing Pains was awesome.
Growing
That was
Pains
my
is
dad's.
great. Just give us those 4 shows from 8 to 10. That would be fucking great.
You wouldn't watch it. Come on.
I might.
No, he wouldn't.
wouldn't.
He would not.
Nobody.
I'm
would.
always scrolling looking for. I'm telling you, I'm not watching
No,
Friends.
this guy, like, he's biggest Indiana Jones fan ever, and he didn't even go see it.
I did see it.
You waited for it to come at
I
home.
bought it.
You didn't support at the box office.
I
Fucking
bought
Harrison's
it.
Ford's last fucking blockbuster. You didn't even support.
I
It was
bought
awful, right?
No,
it wasn't as
It
bad as
wasn't-
people
it
said.
wasn't
It got
awful.
kind of railroaded.
Did get railroaded. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what. I'll never get those 2 hours back of Empire Skulls or whatever that was.
Oh,
Crystal Skulls.
Memorial Day
Well,
weekend 08. Oh God.
you should have seen Shia LaBeouf was in it and not gone to see it.
Whoa, what? Shia?
Shia
I
LaBeouf,
actually
yeah.
liked Shia LaBeouf
He
in a
sucks.
little bit. I thought he was good in that Rear Window thing, Memento. What was that
I know
movie?
what you're talking.
With
It's like
the
a
chick?
chick.
Disturbia.
He was
The
great.
chick. Can we
Disturbia.
talk about the chick?
Yeah,
Even
she's a
Stevens
smoke.
movie.
She's like the hottest girl ever, and that's all she's ever done.
Really?
In what?
I think that's all she's
Disturbia?
ever done. Yeah, you don't remember that? That
It's a
girl-
Rear Window ripoff.
Are you
It's
on,
good,
Dave?
though.
Or is Dave loud enough? I think that's.
Am I loud enough?
Well, yeah.
No, he's good
I
enough.
sound fine to
Making
me.
sure. Just making sure. Yeah, he was good in that. What else was he good in? Shia LaBeouf.
That's
He
really
had-
it.
he
I
has-
don't. I wasn't a Transformers guy or whatever the fuck
Me
he was
neither.
in.
Even Stevens movie.
Did you ever see the movie Fury with Brad Pitt?
Dude, that one slipped by me for some reason.
That's a
I
war
don't know.
movie,
It's a
right?
war movie. It's
Yeah.
World War II. They're in like a tank unit. It's
Yeah.
like not. It's not bad. Like if it's on TV, I'll like stay on it through a commercial.
He had back-to-back bangers recently. Honey Boy and
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that Peanut Butter Falcon is one of those movies that everybody should watch.
Yeah, feel good.
Kind of teared up
Great
at the
flick.
end.
We're fucking idiots too. Did nobody say holes yet?
I mean, that goes.
I
That's
wasn't
one
a
that
Holes
slipped
guy.
by
I didn't
me.
read the book. I wasn't a Holes guy.
Dave read
really?
it 9 years in a row.
9 years in a row.
I read it once and then used
Yeah.
it in middle school.
He got
for every single book report.
9
yeah.
personal pan pizzas from Pizza
Yeah.
Hut because of the holes.
Yeah.
He
Well,
sold
what
it.
was that? The
That was Book It.
book it? Yeah.
Book
I
It.
told you about my boy Primo, right? They moved him out of the delivery zone. He went ballistic.
No, what do you mean?
That's happened to me
He
twice.
used to go to
recently.
Pizza Hut all the time. Delivery. Get the delivery. Ma, get the delivery. Calls one day, like, yeah, fucking 166 West Street. And they're like, oh, you're out of the delivery zone. What? How are we out of delivery zone? Pull up the customer history. We've been giving you millions over the last 10 years. So he had to go there and pick it up. And now every time in our adult life I've been out with him on trips, he went to a ski trip, coming back from his boys with Albany. I wasn't on that one, but he made them pull over, go to Albany, stop on a rest stop, go to Pizza Hut. During a bachelor party, we were going to Secrets in Ocean City. He's like, hang back. We'll go a little bit later. I'm like, dude, the lines. He's like, don't worry about it. We got to go to lunch. Where do we got to go to lunch? We got to go to Pizza Hut. We had two of us sitting there at 11 a.m. in bathing suits and tank tops eating a fucking 2 large pizzas. It's fucking unbelievable.
Well, that's not even an easy road trip stop. You got to sit there and wait to let it go through the conveyor belt.
None on Staten Island. I like Pizza Hut, man. I used to make, when I worked down in Philly, in the area of Philly, I used to make guys go. We'd have to race. We only had an hour for lunch. It was 20 minutes away. You'd have to race to Pizza Hut for the $6.99 lunch. You could eat in like 20 minutes and then race back. Like you had it. It was like a NASCAR pit crew. Yeah. Like if the lady took too long with sodas, you like kind of had to be a dick. You're like, another one. Like, come on, because let's go. I only got 20 minutes to eat here. Like, so.
The red cups. Do you think they'll ever go back to that? And I know Pizza Hut's a big sponsor, so and I'm not trying to say anything.
Yeah, I just think I don't think anything's wrong with. Like the reason why they update things and the reason why they update McDonald's and Pizza Hut and stuff like that is because it's a cleanliness kind of thing. Like you can't have the same seating and tables from the 60s and 70s.
So it's just like we might as well facelift the whole thing.
I think like you do. That's reinvesting in the business. Places do that. That's what they should do.
Keep it fresh a little bit.
But figure out a way to
have the red roof,
brand new tables. But the old style,
100%.
Yeah.
like old. Just order new stuff that looks old, if that makes sense.
Vintage.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Just figure out a way to like redo that. Be like,
That's
this
like-
is how it looked in the '90s, and then go get a deal with like a interior decorator and be like, here's your money, and make it look like that.
That's like
But
there's
it's
this bar.
brand new, and
There's
everyone can tell it's brand new. But it's it looks like the '80s.
there's this bar by my house that just burned down, and they're rebuilding it, but it's never gonna be the same. Like it had like wooden booths and shit. And now they're gonna build it. It's gonna look like kind of cookie cutter, like every other bar. The same leather, cushiony, high top stools.
You don't
Like,
want that.
No, it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Not gonna be the same at all. But
That's
I don't
like
know.
those kind of bars, and they are still around in Chicago. They're like a treasure. That's like year by year you're losing them. Like you got to go to the corner bars. Like I love that place on Southport Langs where you still have the cigarette smoke and the ceiling tile. Like that's you need to go to places like that so they
Langs
don't go
will
out
be
of
fine
business.
forever though.
You think so?
It's just in such a good spot where there's just so many people. I worry about like the really low key ones, like on side streets.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that for sure. And we lost Happy Village.
Yeah.
We lost Happy Village
It's a
on
bunch,
Thomas
yeah.
Street. But I don't know. Langs is. I actually think it's the opposite.
Really?
Where it's
Well,
like
if
that
they-
location is so awesome that someone will come in and buy them out.
I don't think they won't. They'll get pushed out before they like close on their own. Like,
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think
you know what I mean.
Probably
By corporate
But
fucking.
I gotta say, like I've been in Langs this summer probably 5 or 6 times. It's never more than 6 people. In
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah.
I was in there recently. There's more people out, but
All right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just how it works. They'll
Yeah.
build an 8-floor bar Louie or something.
Yeah.
And that's just the future. What's the mood in New York, dude? Obviously, people are fucking devastated about
Mean
the
Girls.
Bears game. Like Giants got their doors blown off.
Yeah,
Jets
it's-
lost. Is everyone?
We're not
just,
gonna have one meaningful postseason baseball game, which was weird coming into this year.
Yeah.
Although if the Mets, so many years, if the Mets didn't make it, I at least had hate watching playoff games because I've hate watched way
Yeah.
more.
I'm
Yankee
looking forward to
games.
it this year.
With who?
Cubs.
Oh, you're gonna hate watch the Cubs?
Fuck yeah, I am.
So you're back. You've been so dead inside you can't even hate them.
I will hate them. Like I was looking at the standings today. They got a 85% chance of making the playoffs per ESPN, and I'm like, I can't fucking stand that team.
Yeah, I need my D-backs to get in front of them. I also thought the Reds could have got hot, but they are just a year away. The Reds
Yeah.
are 2 years away from being a serious World
But they'll
Series
probably
team.
start.
serious.
Yeah, they'll
They'll
start selling
off
those
those
guys.
I don't think
pieces.
they got that many guys, dude, that like they're loaded. If they can do what the Braves did and get in early, like give De La Cruz is now.
I don't think they'll ever do it.
Yeah,
They're
I,
like
heard, I guess
they're the
ownership
poorest-
is horrible.
yeah.
Like it's crazy. But yeah, I mean the Giants stink or stunk. I think we could be okay.
I got a question for you.
Jets.
Are you willing
I still think
to
stink, but so it's weird. Sorry, I'm in a weird spot with the Jets because I thought they weren't going to do well with Rodgers, which I'm sure you guys loved. But now it's like you don't get a fair. It's like an incomplete.
Yeah.
Like that bet. Nope. The Jets don't get to win that bet and dunk on me. I don't get to win that bet and dunk on the Jets. It's a wash. It's no action.
Yeah.
Which is like not fair.
You
I would
almost
have liked
rather
to see
lose.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to have seen it played out.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of that, that was a big point of conversation. People talking about sports books who didn't give the money back. What do you think about that? You think they should be refund all bets, like all Aaron Rodgers props and shit? Like, do you guys got any take on that? I saw a lot of people
I
debating
would
that.
take the money back, but I would be under no expectation
that's the
at
breaks.
all.
Yeah,
For sure.
Like
For
I had a couple different props on that game. There was including both guys to throw for I think 200 was like somehow that was like plus 400, like pretty good odds for both guys to go over 200 yards passing. And I put pretty good money on that game and different Aaron Rodgers things. I laughed hysterically when I knew the money was gone, but it was worth like.
Yeah, well, you're in a different spot than a guy from Pennsylvania who didn't necessarily have any opinion in Rodgers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No,
like,
but
it
it was
was
still-
still him getting hurt. You watch for years.
No,
you're a
but
Bears
it
fan.
was
It's like-
more about the Jets than it was about Rodgers.
Oh,
for me.
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it was just like these guys
That's
they're
what-
just like us. Like misery loves company. Like they finally get a guy. They have the whole like Hard Knocks thing, the build up. The
American flag on September 11th.
It was like a coronation of him running out there, and it was over.
And it's done.
It's
like
done, yeah.
and it
I was
just-
surprised they had already
done.
used that one with Testaverde getting hurt.
Oh, the Achilles.
Yes,
Yeah.
so like Roger, it's weird. They double dip. It's like get a new thing. Like I was
Yeah.
waiting for like a piece of scaffolding to fall and hurt his shoulder. You know what I mean? Like they already you can't replay a hits with the Jets.
Yeah.
like they do. That's the best thing about the Jets.
Oh,
they do something new.
Nostalgia plays.
It
That was
does,
a
yeah.
great '90s moment for
Fair
them.
enough,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
yeah. That was Parcells, wasn't it?
Do we want to ask Tom again?
I think so.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he.
What's up?
I think he explained enough. We put
Yeah.
him through the meat grinder enough.
Tough one.
Yeah. Talking about Rodgers a little bit.
Remember him?
No.
Well, I'm just
briefly.
more like a New York Pulse in general because of how bad things are.
How do you think that locker room is? I asked Mangold yesterday on Pick Central. I'm like, how's the mindset of like you were shunned? I was listening to a New York show today, and they were like talking about there were like tweets, and guys were like they really like railroaded him, and now it's like we need you, like because the spin now is well we're so good around him that he could just manage and we can make the playoffs. That's the real spin right now.
Yeah, I think
which is crazy.
I think they'll give him a few weeks and then they'll make a move. That's
Dude, I think if you're
they're-
gonna make a move, you got to bring in somebody like now.
They're
Give him a few weeks to learn the offense and all that, but it's like, oh yeah, he's here to back up. He's an emergency guy
I think he could give Wilson three weeks.
without signing anyone.
Yeah.
Well, if he goes,
I mean, maybe I'm talking about trade because we went through the options
Yeah.
on Tuesday, and the trade options were way better than
The
the free
option-
agent.
the
options.
I think the faster you go to get somebody in, the better off you are trying to save a playoff run.
A good option that they could have had that they just poo-pooed was Mike White. I thought Mike, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl. Mike White could have, I think, been a
What, are you guys related or something?
serviceable quarterback. You said that too?
He loves
Yes.
Mike White.
Loves
Yeah.
Mike White. He's a
I run the #1 Mike White fan Twitter account.
He wasn't
my guy.
bad. Like,
He wasn't. Mike White on this team right now, a healthy Mike White, I would feel amazing.
Would you try to trade back for Sam Darnold if he became available?
That's like a sick joke kind of question where it's like Sam Darnold and Geno Smith right now would be great options. for
Yeah.
the
what
Jets.
sucks is that they owe this kid Wilson at least a shot now
Yeah.
because he was the second pick. So, like, if Rodgers didn't come in, what would have been their option? They probably would have stayed with Wilson, right?
It does feel like he was a good soldier through all this too. Like he could have been like, "Get me out of here," pouted the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it felt like, at least the way it's portrayed on Hard Knocks, that he kind of took his medicine and embraced the role as a learning opportunity and didn't be a little bitch about it. So, kind of feel like maybe you give him a
But
shot.
it's almost
here.
like he digressed and was like, "Hey, I'm kind of in over my head."
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny. It's like no one has any answers. Like I think I've digested every form of like sports media content I possibly could have, and everyone's just kind of.
Francesa would have been a must listen.
Did you see Carton? I mean,
No.
I don't know if he's doing a bit, but he was saying he wouldn't trade Zach Wilson for Josh Allen.
All right, so that's the
right.
spin zone. Is Josh Allen? Did Josh Allen take a leap down from
Oh, no.
tiers? Because it used to
The
be
Bills are good. The Jets just have an unreal
But
defense.
I'm starting to lean into the bucket where the Bills are a little overrated.
I think Allen might be a little
both things
overrated.
are true. Yeah.
There was a time where you couldn't tell the difference between Mahomes and Allen.
Yeah,
that's what was being pitched.
Yeah,
you don't
Mahomes and Allen.
You don't think anything we saw on Monday night was Jets defense?
It's definitely that the Jets defense is good, dude. But like, Mahomes hasn't. I'm sorry, Allen hasn't beat him when it matters.
No,
like the part of the rivalry.
It's been fucking close.
Like the part of the rivalry is that like Brady and Manning was that one of them they won. They beat each other.
But
I'll give Burrow credit. Burrow beat fucking Mahomes. Allen hasn't done it when it matters yet.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills are playing in a different NFL where like that's a conversation happening in Buffalo. Like they got to beat the guys that matter, like Burrow and Mahomes.
Yeah.
In our world, the Jets, it's like we can beat Josh Allen, but I still recognize him as one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I wonder if people in Buffalo are starting to get like look in the rearview mirror about Jacksonville and San Diego and Tua.
Miami.
It's week one.
Tua,
Legit.
yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah,
Tua's not going to last the season. It's week one. I still think the Bills are really good.
They're a very good team.
I think they should still. I think they shouldn't be worried about behind them. They should. The conversation is definitely what's in front of them, like getting past the Mahomes.
But sometimes you just miss your window. You know,
Oh,
and it's like
I just said that all the time.
Fucking the Jets have the
Well, but if you're the Bills and you've been building it, you guys went to get like you were like go directly to go. You know, like you got the card with Rodgers. You don't have to worry about building the quarterback. You're at the end. Where the Bills kind of built it all up, but now you're seeing like they lost Tremaine Edwards to us. They're going to start like they're not going to be able to afford all these pieces, and then it just kind of collapses underneath them. That's what I mean about looking behind you, where it's like all of a sudden like you went from being a team that you were like, hey, we're gonna go 14-3 and have a bye to, man, I hope we make a wild card.
That window closing, man, is a scary thing.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
I lived through it with the Knicks in the 90s. You're like, they'll get there. They'll break through. They'll get one. The Mets in that run of like 06 to 08, that window closed real fucking quick. Kind of saw it with these starting pitchers with the Mets here. I'm trying to think.
2020 White
Cubs.
Sox.
Yeah. I'm thinking a team who's really close to all the time.
I mean,
wasn't a
my
trade.
other
The
team,
the
Rangers, the Hank Rangers was
the
like the most
Pacer-
famous window
the
closing
Pacers as well. You know, close
Yeah.
with the Bulls for a period of time. Close with the Knicks.
They went to Game 7 with the Bulls, and
Close
then they went
with
to the
Knicks,
finals again.
The Heat in the 90s before they broke through in 06. The 90s Bills. I mean, they already had this happen to them once. 4 straight Super Bowls, like in that window, and then for 20 years, it's like they're lucky to make the playoffs.
Right.
So just the window closing is a scary, scary thing. Like, you'd almost rather your team just be awful.
It happened so fast with the Blackhawks when they won 3 in a row, and it was like then they won 3, and then they signed their 2 guys. To
They
these,
won 3 cups in a row.
No, 3 and 5
three,
years.
3 and 5
yeah,
years,
yeah.
3 and 6 actually.
6,
but then they signed their big guys to these 8-year deals. They never won a playoff series again. So it was like it was over before you even knew it was over, kind of thing. It's terrible.
Well, sorry, I know you got to run to the Yak,
Yeah.
but if you got a college football pick or something like that before we're going to leave
I'm
on?
gonna been awful. The list is back. I'm taking all the big power programs against the shitty teams.
Yeah.
Awful loss.
Notre Dame, so
Bama,
you're taking Notre
A&M,
Dame?
Arizona.
Oh,
Who's on
awful
upset
loss.
watch? Because it's like an upset
It's
kind
a
of week.
horrific week. Yeah, but upsets don't even matter. There's not
true.
one ranked.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't say there's not one ranked game. Oh no, that means regular games. I don't know
If,
upset wise.
if Florida beats Tennessee, that's
It is.
a big
I
one.
think they were just saying on Pick'em. Dave's like, it makes no sense what you say. I think Tennessee, for all those years of like the horror and watching Florida beat them, and Florida has owned that rivalry. Tennessee won last year, get the monkey off the back. Now it's building where, let's say Tennessee wins 4 in a row. It's like, ooh, is this shifting a little bit? I think those guys are going to come to play as bad as Joe Milton is. So I like Tennessee
Joe
to
Milton
an
fucking
extent.
stinks.
Why not Mizzou?
Because I like K-State.
Do you?
Yeah, K-State's my best pick, actually.
All right.
But yeah, I like K-State. I think Mizzou could probably get it done. Who knows? But that'll be a tough game. But yeah, Kleiman's got those guys running. I like Will Howard. But yeah, college football. We got the next couple of weeks are loaded. Next week's loaded. October 21st is loaded. So it's nice when it gets a little chilly too in the morning.
Oh, I love it. It was
walk out,
58 degrees this morning.
The
It was
dog
great.
walk on the morning, morning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, Bosco.
All right, boys.
Thank you,
Yeah,
buddy.
always mix it up.
Appreciate
Zoom me in
it.
every once in a while.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
love
hey,
that.
you're here on Wednesdays. Anytime you
Yeah.
want to jump in, you
Yep.
know?
That airport Chili's is like the highlight of my day.
You got an open
After
seat.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we continue, obviously a lot of NFL college football action this weekend. If you're looking to go to a game, you got to go with Game Time. Is that right, Dave Williams?
You know that's right, Ed Fair.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner, Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Northwestern home this weekend?
They're in Durham against 21st ranked Duke Blue Devils.
Okay.
Notre Dame's home.
Notre Dame's home.
Notre Dame. We just used them in Colorado. Super
We
easy.
did.
Yep.
Awesome.
In and out.
Shout out to them for getting us in the Colorado game. And 50 cents at the United Center. I've been talking about that a lot.
officially going?
Got a
Here's the
couple of
nice thing about
concerts
Game
left.
Time. I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm just going to wait
last-minute
because the
decision.
last minute price drops are the best thing about Game Time. So
They are
What
great.
promo code are you going to use when you do that, Ed?
I'm going to use promo code MID. So if you download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, redeem code MID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But I like that's a factor.
That
You
is.
could-
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just
Great.
do that. So
Yep.
that's nice. So go there one more time. Promo code MID. First time users get $20 off, which is nice. $20 off a ticket. That's a couple beers. You hope. Stadium prices are high.
Yeah. That's economy.
All right, continuing
Right,
on. How
Dave?
you, Dave? Can I say something about
Yeah.
you? I like that color scheme on you. You look good today.
I noticed it too.
I noticed it in the bathroom 30 minutes ago.
Damn, I
and I'm
look
like,
good. Somehow the hat matches like the hood
I
of
didn't
the
even
jacket.
notice that.
Yeah.
I threw it on this morning because I have the blue and black, and you can get this in the Barstool store.
Where did you
I believe
get that?
this is Sydney Wells's.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
I don't
dude.
think it's
That is
ours, but
nice.
we have the Chicago flag colors: red, blue, black,
good
white,
White. Yeah.
And you got a clean Wishfest hat.
and it
Usually-
matches the little hood.
It's not clean.
It's cleaner than his other brown hat that he wears.
Look at
usually.
the other side.
that
He's got
other
a
one's
coffee
supposed
stain
to be
on it.
disgusting.
Says who?
Says me.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like a style that people are like wear gross hats.
It can be, yeah.
Okay.
Weathered hat, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
All right.
You like a good weathered hat?
You know, I've been kind of. I used to have look at all the sweat rings on this thing. It's fucking gross. You just wear one hat every single day of your life. I kind of have like a rotation of 4 or 5 hats now, so I don't really.
It depends too.
Yeah.
What do you think of Chiefs' hair today?
Take off your headphones, please. Do a 360 for me. It looks okay.
Remember when the shredded brims used to be a thing? Those were in
Oh, yeah.
style.
Oh yeah. Well, you were a big fish hook on the hat guy, right, Danny?
Shut the fuck up.
That's different. If that naturally happens, fine, whatever.
But
If
it's
you
so hard for that
buy
to
it,
naturally happen.
I know it takes like years. But if you buy it like that, that's tacky.
Yeah, I don't. Do they sell them like that?
Yeah,
That's tacky.
Yeah.
he says.
Well, it's
Is
like
that
same
not
as having
tacky?
ripped jeans. It is though. It is
Yeah.
tacky. Where you can tell like the Abercrombie ones like
but I
that.
think that's like it's like a southern look. You know what I mean? You got the boot cuts. And you
Yeah,
got
but
the fucking.
it's just
got a
like
can
the
of
Jets
Skol.
getting their quarterback. That's like you get the card, you skip right to go. You're supposed to earn that weather. You're supposed to earn that. I
Right.
used to have. I had like a Cubs 47 brand hat. You know, with like the.
Yeah.
I heard someone call them a dad hat. Is that what they're? You know what I'm talking about though. Yeah. And it got like I wore it basically every day for 3 years in high school, maybe 4 years, and it was just beat to shit, and I loved it. And then dog got it, and I was like, and I've never been able to. You can't get it back. You can't recreate that look. Doesn't matter. Like,
Well, we just talked vintage about Pizza Hut. I think things could be made vintage too.
but it shouldn't. But it like you still know. Like you could get wooden chairs in that bar that burned down that you talked about. It's not going to be the same. It won't be the same.
It'll be too glossy.
Yeah,
The wood will be too glossy.
You need 50 years of sandpaper ass to
Weather.
wear them away. Yeah.
Speaking of that, we went to a very weathered bar in Colorado. That's Sundown Saloon.
No,
I
yeah,
loved it.
that was a good spot.
Shined
that place
out.
was
I don't know what it's
fucking
called.
awesome.
In a basement, couple of pool tables.
Yeah, it was so dark you
the
couldn't even
$10
see.
pitchers.
Yeah.
Love the college prices.
College prices are crazy. Yeah, I was like, I bought like 4 shots in a beer, and I was like, all right, here we go, and it was like something. Like,
$18.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like $21.
Yeah.
You know, it was nice, but the floors.
How
were
come that's a
sticky.
thing?
That's
How come it? I don't like that. I feel like if a price of a beer should be the price of a beer, you shouldn't just be gouging. Like if you can charge whatever for
Hey,
your.
Dave. Sounds like a guy who doesn't like capitalism.
yeah.
No, I
sounds-
like capitalism.
Sounds
I
a lot
li-
like that.
No, it doesn't.
Sounds
But
he
like
doesn't
I
like the
I wish
capitalism.
that there were bars in Chicago who were in the name of competition. They're like, hey, like that bar,
There are plenty. You just
hoity-toity place. No, you're not getting college prices at any
not
place.
college prices,
Yeah.
but you're getting.
Well,
I
those
mean,
are the bars that I frequent, like Lang's. But even Lang's is charging.
No, but if you listen, weekend's a different ballpark. If you go to a bar Sunday through Thursday, you could find a unique bar that has an awesome deal on something.
$2 Miller Lights,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yes, there's
Jameson
always
shots.
a place that has a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Proper
know.
12, dude.
How does college get away with that? You figure the mixed drinks is like they're just putting shitty vodka in it and
But I'm
barely
drinking
any liquor.
shitty vodka anyways. I think I
mean,
might
it's
have to
just-
be off of vodka, though.
It's just volume over.
Yeah.
Yeah, volume
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, I think that's just it. They're volume shooters. But I don't. It's different too.
It is.
But no, it's different. Like I don't think I could do draft beer at a college bar anymore.
Hell no.
No, it's too dirty.
Dirty pipes.
Yeah,
No.
dirty lines.
Oh, yeah.
Like drinking out of a hose.
You're,
Worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever just ordered a straight up like glass of draft beer in college.
Well, it would come in a fucking Dixie
Right.
cup.
Well,
if anything.
yeah, in a pitcher. But that's a wild move. Just get a glass at a bar, sitting down. Everyone's hammered.
Glass is
drinking like blue
bar.
shots.
Did they have glass at this bar? They
I doubt
did.
it.
The shot we took was glass.
It was plastic.
Yeah, it was plastic.
Hey, brother. Don't know.
Yeah, these guys were.
I was having a hard time that day.
Why? Where were you?
What do you mean? I was on the fucking moon.
All right. We can circle back.
I have a question real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
We were talking about this
Please.
last episode, how you don't really remember the one bar we were at, but you clearly just remembered the saloon we were at.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think we call that a brownout, or you're half blacked out for, and
That's
then
what I've
you
always
come
called it.
back to life. Do you think that's worse than being blacked out the whole night? Because you guys didn't even realize that you were blacked out, basically, because you were like,
No,
wait,
I
I don't remember that.
When was it? What part didn't I remember?
Remember when you guys got into it about the wrestling thing? You guys had no recollection of it when we were talking
but
about it
that's
last
like
episode.
I knew where I was, but I don't like. I could have been stone sober and not remember that. I just don't have a good memory.
I'm just saying that'd be more terrifying for me. You're just like, wait, what else don't I remember? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I never have like the what do they call it? Hangxiety, like the next day hangover. Like, what did I do last night?
Oh, really?
I don't really misbehave. I'm kind of just a louder version of myself.
But it's the unknowing factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in my head, it's just like, what's the? I know what is that? Like drunk something is sober thoughts or whatever.
Drunk
Yeah.
words are silver
Yeah,
thoughts.
I kind of I just maybe I tell people I love them. Like I don't really do anything.
Yeah,
when
but you got a little worried that you're like the annoying guy.
I'm not worried about that.
If everybody else is drunk, everybody's annoying. You just don't realize it.
Yeah, I've never
No.
You're
I
not
don't-
the annoying guy unless you're like way more fucked up than someone else.
I might make bad decisions, but I'm always like aware of the bad decisions. But I don't think I don't have like, oh my god, well, I wonder what I did. And I'm like, whatever I did or said is probably fine.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with drunk words or sober thoughts.
I definitely do.
It's largely true.
Yeah.
Like exaggerated
Yes.
sober
Why-
thoughts, maybe.
Yeah.
Exaggerated sober thoughts. And listen, there's just some things you won't say to people because it's like, why? Like, there's no point.
Yeah.
You're like, your filter gets a little looser.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have a filter for a reason.
Right.
But
It's not
that's-
like it's a
that's what-
secret, but like it just never came up before.
And that's what the phrase means. I understand what you're
Right.
saying.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly what it means.
But that's but like I still feel like that creates anxiety.
No, because for me it doesn't. Because if someone had a problem with it, we had to talk about it the next day, I'd be like, yeah, I do think that maybe I shouldn't have said it in that moment, but let's talk it out now. And but I usually like
It's more like, what if you're talking, like say you're talking about someone else to a different person? Like, what did I say?
I typically try not to say anything that I wouldn't say to that person. So like if Dave is bothering me and I'm talking to Ed about how Dave's bothering me and Dave sat down and over like, what are you guys talking about? I'd be like, Dave, you're fucking bothering me. And I feel like that has happened. Like that's just how you clear the air. I don't know. Like I've never, I know what you're saying, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
You get some anxiety.
I don't think he does. He just
Nothing
fucking
like-
puts hash browns on the, on the griddle.
Yeah, nothing,
the next day. Then
yeah.
takes a little nap and it's over with.
Yeah, nothing's a nice little skill it can't fix.
Is hash brown your favorite food? It's got to be top 5.
The potato is maybe the best food on earth.
I think you might be right. It's so versatile.
It's good. Like you can have it at a 5-star steakhouse or a hash brown form at McDonald's. You know,
true.
And it's great any way you do it.
I want to see where you drafted this.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
We did a whole potato draft.
Potato draft. Yeah.
Was that a St. Patrick's Day?
If I didn't take it first, I'm sure I would have.
I don't know who's.
But I do eat hash browns very, very regularly. Yes.
Those breakfast potatoes piss me off though.
Why?
Because who wants those over hash browns?
I agree with that.
100%.
That's how I agree with that.
Oh.
Like the diced.
Yeah.
Like you're talking like the hotel had like the
Yes.
Right, and they
Yes.
often dupe you. Like you think they
Yeah.
have hash browns. There was a place by my old apartment called Hash. They didn't sell hash browns. Crazy.
I've been to that place and I remember having the exact same thought.
Let's ban them.
They have
Banned.
been banned for years now.
Okay, official.
Yeah.
a podcast wide ban. We've never done that before.
Ooh.
Well,
I bet you Ed won't commit to
Yeah.
it.
Was that? Sorry, I was looking at the hash brown draft or the potato draft.
We just banned a whole restaurant.
What?
Hash.
They don't sell hash browns, so they're
False
banned.
advertisement.
Do you want to ban them?
They don't sell weed
I don't
hash
want to
either.
stop local business.
We're just trying to improve local business.
So
Put hash
I
I know
browns-
remember
one- I know
getting
one
shit
is-
for sweet potato casserole.
I know 1 is large, 2 is me. So you are number 4. You had hash browns number 4.
I could see
overall.
him being a loaded baked guy though.
Yeah, he could. He's 3 through
I
5.
do like loaded baked potatoes.
So
Which one are you?
I don't really go for loaded baked potatoes.
So you're probably 5.
I'm either 4 or 5. No, I'm definitely 5 because I had tots.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
You're either 3 or 4, Dave.
I'm 4. I remember getting shit on for sweet potato casserole, which is ridiculous to me. But I don't think. Okay, aside from
It's gross because they put marshmallows on it.
but
it makes it disgusting.
I know. I don't like marshmallows, but in that exact combination, I'll tolerate them and even enjoy them. But potato chips, even though I like potato chips, are the only thing on there that I don't like salivate over. I would say.
I don't
Maybe
know.
potato salad a little bit.
I have never bought like at a grocery store a thing of potato chips like for myself.
I don't know that I have either.
If it
I
comes,
have one
if it comes with a
Labor Day.
sandwich,
Sure,
you know,
yeah,
I
I'll eat
like that, but I don't. I like them. I love a Cape Cod potato chip, but I don't. I'm with you on
Ooh,
that.
someone went hash brown patty. That must have been very contentious.
That was me. You remember that?
I do remember that. It was
it
it
con-
it was
It was
contentious.
contentious. You were fucking pissed.
Because it's the same food in a different shape.
No.
I think we had the same debate about sausage versus sausage patty. too.
Wildly different flavors.
No, they're not wildly different. They has a little bit different crunch, a little different consistency.
Flavor, consistency, texture.
That has nothing to do with the flavor.
Which one do you like better,
Me?
the patty or the pan fried?
Pan fried.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the McDonald's hash browns, they're
They're so fucking good.
disgustingly, jokingly good.
Why do they
Even
do the
though
patty better than everybody else, though?
I don't
Other
know.
places can't nail the
I
patty.
wouldn't be surprised if it's not even potato they're made with.
No, they're potato.
No.
They're potato. I mean, they're the largest purchaser of potatoes in the world.
Now, I have
Are
a
they
place
really?
by me.
Yeah.
They gotta be.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
What else do they? They have
French fries?
French fries and hash browns.
Yeah.
I was
What-
thinking I'm like, do they do potato buns or something?
So, there are a few places that don't do the shredded hash browns, and they're really good. Oh,
Where's my chair?
all right,
Relax.
sorry.
Squeaks.
And they're really, I don't know if you ever had a place that does that. I think they're a better variation, too.
Say it again. They
Say-
don't do what?
They don't do the shredded kind,
We
So what
just
do they
talked
do
about that.
instead?
Yeah, like McDonald's.
but they're not patty either.
What?
Oh yeah, they're little coins.
Yeah, BK used to do
yeah,
that.
they're little like
no,
coins.
I'm not going to be able to describe this to you guys. There's
Yeah,
a place,
they're like little coins.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's
Are
not
they
the
deep
Chick-fil-A.
fried?
No, it's like the shredded one. It's on a plate at a diner,
Okay.
but they're not like line shredded. You know what I mean, like that.
They're just a pile of potatoes.
But they're
crispy.
hash browns though. They're a different kind of crisp on top.
They grate them. I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
They're like
it's different.
they're grated. It's like grated
Yeah.
Parmesan.
So
yeah.
well,
Family Palace in Hardwood Heights. They got fucking.
I know what you're talking about. yes.
I think what those are.
it's kind of like our
are
gratin
just
potatoes.
the freshest kind.
what
Because
is-
if you like, what you do is you buy a big bag of shredded,
Yeah.
right?
Cheapo.
Right.
They're like $2.
Right. I'll shred them with a cheese grater.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It just takes long. And, it's
And
the
I
same
think that's
thing.
probably what
I
that
don't know.
restaurant does.
But he's not talking about like
I don't know
long
what
and
he's talking
stringy.
about.
He's
This
talking
guy doesn't.
flat.
You know
I know
what?
what he's talking
He
about.
doesn't know potatoes. That's the thing.
Ed doesn't know
He
his
doesn't
way
know.
around a potato if it sat on his fucking face.
buddy? Look at me. I know potatoes.
Get the potatoes out of your ears.
Yeah. Never mind. We could just move it
No.
on.
I had
What
a
were you
question
about to
for
ask?
him
I was
earlier.
going to pull up a picture for it. What was your question for him?
Because you said this goes back to a sports conversation. You ready for that? Mm-hmm. When we were talking about how you're ready to hate watch the Cubs, I think that if you took the 25-man roster with PCA and you put them on the White Sox in a White Sox uniform, it would be like your favorite team of all time. You would love
Maybe.
because
They play hard.
They play hard.
Yeah.
They play defense.
I've always been able to separate that, though.
Yeah, but like
I've always been. I've been very on the record about how much I loved Anthony Rizzo because he played the right way.
But like this team is just like all guys that just do all the little things.
No,
right?
of course. But
and
they're the
you would
Cubs.
appreciate that.
I hope they
more.
lose and strike out every. I understand.
You would appreciate that more than a team that's like, and I'm just pulling a name like 25 Jose Cansecos, where they just, you would like this type of a team. You would love this team. You would love this Cubs team. You want to just get on board?
No. I will be. It won't be a very loud and public rooting against because I don't think I can without sounding like a complete asshole considering how bad the Sox are.
When has that stopped you?
But it was always like you could make it an argument, and for the most of my life, you could make an argument that the White Sox were at least a better organization than the Cubs. But like, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's
you can say.
The Cubs have sneaky been a pretty good team organization for 20 years now because they had the good run with it didn't end up in anything. They went to the NLCS in 03, playoffs in 04, or almost playoffs in 04.
Dog shit for the 10 years after that.
06 to 08, they were good. But like if you're looking at the Pirates, the Reds, like there's a lot of teams who have fewer playoff appearances than the Cubs.
What were you going to say before you leave?
Yeah, I got to go to advisors. I was going to say the best was when before Cubs would play Sox, Dave would always tweet out a picture of this cute, cuddly baby bear with just blood all over it.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I think
that.
I did it once. I got a little
strike against your
worth it.
Yeah, it was a dead bear cub. They didn't like that one.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a long time ago.
That was a 5-year stretch out of the 20. That's 25% of that.
No.
10 to 15.
So if you were in the playoffs in 03, and you're the 04 is at this point, but they were pretty. They were
04, 05, and 06.
04, 05 was when. And then it was what 07,
07, 08. We made
07, 08. They made the playoffs, and you tore it down, and then you had 3 years in a row in the NLCS, and
after losing 100 games for
but you still won a World Series. I think there are a lot of fan bases around the country
7 years
who would trade their last 20 for this Cubs last 20. It's hard, and then like they didn't have the expanded playoffs like they do now either. Like it was hard. It's hard to make the playoffs
last
in
7,
baseball.
Obviously, I think that I don't think the majority of my life. I'm almost 35. The Cubs have been horrific. I would say 80% of that.
They made the playoffs in '98 too.
I think half. It's less than half. They made the playoffs eight times in the last 20 years.
Okay.
And
what's the average?
4 or 5 of them were in the last 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that there weren't like horrific down moments that
5 times since 2015.
Was what? How many times?
5 of those 8.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
I would say last decade.
Okay.
Is fair.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Even, last decade is very fair.
Yeah.
5 out of 10. Hopefully 6 out of 10 here.
Yeah.
They'd have to fucking really shit the bed.
Really bottom out for sure.
Yeah.
No, good discussion though.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I do want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. Calling all Bears fans, Barstool and ChevyDriveChicago.com want to give you a chance to enter to win a VIP game watch experience with the Barstool Chicago team. You and a friend can get a chance to watch the Bears versus Kansas City game on Sunday, September 24th at a local Chicago bar. We'll be at Cody's Public House.
The best.
Over on Barry in Lakeview. So you're local. Like, we know a lot of you guys are living around here. Come watch the game with us. Obviously, as 3 of us will be there. Who knows what other Barstool guys are going to be there. Come chill. We'll hopefully have that back booth. But if not, if it's a nice day, maybe we'll be chilling outside.
I would hope that we're outside with the grills
definitely.
going and the Miller Lights. And
hopefully. You never know Chicago weather, you know?
Yep.
But regardless, you should enter to win. All you have to do to enter is go to ChevyDriveChicago.com. And while you're there, take a look at the new truck lineup. And remember, it's time to drive with Justin Fields drives. That Silverado, Colorado. There's a lot of good options, guys. I know winter's coming. You're not going to want to taking the train all the time. So it doesn't hurt to just go on to ChevyDriveChicago.com, give the website a spin, and see what they're working with. I know, Chief, I believe you're about to do so. You've been saying it for a while. So
I'm like kind of almost ready to pull the trigger. It's just which one do I get?
Yeah.
So
Well, go do it, guys. ChevyDriveChicago.com, and we'd love to hang out with you at Cody's Week 3 for the Bears Chiefs game. All right. Should we anything else baseball related, or do we want to get right into football?
I mean, PCA made his
exciting, very exciting.
He has a villain face. He's got a villain face and a kind of a douchebag TikTok haircut a little bit. I hope he's so good that everyone in the division and the White Sox hate his guts. That's like my ultimate, because that would be. He's got a name that you just like, fucking Pete Crow Armstrong, God damn it, with his stupid haircut and his Scott Farkas face. I hope he's a real villain.
Who said Scott Farkas first? Because I know you didn't think of that, because that's a good one.
Tweeted it last night.
I don't think you thought of it. I think you saw it. He does kind of look like Scott Farkas. Though.
What the fuck?
That's rude, Dave.
Yeah.
That's rude.
He looks exactly, and I reference Scott Farkas all the time. It's not even Scott Farkas, it's Scott, idiot.
Scott?
Yeah.
Scott.
I don't know. Haven't seen that movie in forever.
It used to be on 24 hours a day on Christmas, so
Yeah.
burned in your brain.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, just keep,
Yeah.
We're recording today. The Cubs are about to play the third game against Colorado. Just,
Yeah.
win this series.
Win the
Bad series against the D-backs.
Yeah.
So you need to bounce back. And like you said, you just hang on and get that playoff spot. That's all we can hope for.
Yep.
Justin Steele, still looking good.
So Wicks is looking
Wicks
awesome.
is looking great.
Yeah.
I think it's first time since 1901 that a Cubs rookie has won 3 games in a row.
Is that right?
Yeah, to start the season.
Well, then they got 3 against the Diamondbacks this weekend, and then it does. The schedule isn't like unbearable. It would be nice if they were. Soccer guys say this expression that I like a lot, saying you're on the beach, like you had no worries, like you're on the beach before the season's over. It would be nice if they were on the beach heading into that last series against the Brewers. And it's like, could you catch them, but you have no like way to fall out of a playoff position. So I think that's a good goal between the next 2 weeks here.
Anything White Sox related, Dave? I mean,
Nope.
Oscar Polos. I tried. I'm sorry. I tried.
17 games left, I think I saw this morning.
You going to go to one?
No.
No.
Why would I?
I usually like to go to a one White Sox September game. You get your own section. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like kind of a nice experience. It's like dark out there.
Yeah.
Except the food, they like let it go at the end of the season. You get like fucking stale pizza and shit. Stale buns.
So I love the food there. Obviously, it's great food. But I did have my worst ballpark food experience ever was at a late season White Sox game where they only cooked one side of the brat. So one side was completely fucking burned.
He's never let me hear the end of that one.
And
They
the
get
other
sloppy
side was
towards the end
raw.
of the year.
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, they probably have all this fucking surplus. they
Jerry's
got
like,
rid of.
no more ordering. No more food trucks. We're going to make what we have. And that's what he probably does.
Yeah. I wonder how they manage that. And if they have like a bunch at the end of the year, do they just like give it to food kitchens and stuff? Be nice.
It's a good question.
You think Jerry would do that?
They preserve it for opening day 2024.
Just throw it in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, Chicago Bears. It's Wednesday. Hope everyone checked out that post-game show that we did on Monday. And obviously we did our show Tuesday where we didn't really talk about it, but we covered a lot of what was going on. Wednesday, we'll get a little pulse of the room. Like, I'm starting to look ahead. Like, I'm pretty much looking ahead right now. Like,
Okay.
I'm ready for the Bucks.
Yep.
That's not to say that like I'm completely like positive, but I am optimistic for one reason, and it's kind of my it's stupid. It's stupid because being a Bears fan, this doesn't. But your gambling brain.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Yes.
I think I said that the other
Oh,
day.
did you? Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that. Then.
Like I'm gonna bet the Bears
Yeah.
because the way the NFL ebbs and flows.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's just how the league is.
Yep. They
You
won
know?
last weekend. Now they go back home. They've been sucking their own dicks. Oh, we beat the Vikings, and the Bears are a wounded animal. And the Bears will get away.
And let me tell you though, like just saying this out there before it even starts, the Bucks have a bad offensive line.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield has been somewhat in disarray his whole career to be respectful.
That's a nice way to say
If
it.
we don't fucking drum something up that fires under this guy's ass, like, I'm gonna pull my fucking hair out.
So I saw a stat that the Packers blitzed Justin Fields on 32 or 33% of his dropbacks. The Bears hardly blitzed at all in that game.
They were playing base cover too.
Yeah, and it was just like,
cookie cutter
what
vanilla
are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
Put some
scheme
pressure.
something up.
Basic. I know he's not. But
No, it's his
basically a
first
fucking
real
rookie.
start. It's his first real start. Yeah. So, Ed,
Make him uncomfortable.
I'm with you. Fucking dial it up, pin your fucking ears back, and go get him.
And it's frustrating because it's one of those things where we shouldn't even have to say this.
They should know.
It's such like,
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even say anything more because it's so. It's not rocket science, but after what we just watched, it feels like it.
That is the thing. And I did see this video this morning. I blogged it about because there's like, oh, everything's a check down, everything's this with Justin Fields.
I watched the entire thing last night.
That hour-long thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see this video?
Justin Fields breakdown.
Yeah.
I saw one of them at least.
I didn't. I was gonna blog it last night too, and I don't know how like credible that guy. Obviously, he's got a massive platform. He's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers and shit. But like, I don't know if he is one of these armchair coaches that like all the rest of us. So I kind of ignored it. But everything looked. I mean, it was so simply put in it that you're like, how can he be wrong?
So I want to say something else that I didn't say earlier because I was already sad. But I watched a good chunk of the Colts game, and I watched a good chunk of that Panthers-Falcons game. Basically, every team with a young quarterback makes throwing the ball downfield look easier than the Bears.
But it's been that our whole lives, and I just don't. It's never made sense, except for with the exception of
Cuddy.
Yeah, that one Cutler, the first year of Trustman
And Sexy Rexy.
with Alshon and
That was awesome. They're the
Alshon
best
and
offense in
Brandon
the league.
Marshall, it was, yeah,
Forte.
second best.
Yeah.
Denver was a juggernaut.
Yeah.
There, but it was a great offense. You're right. I don't know why.
Such a fucking struggle. But I hope that they just kind of go back to the drawing board and it's like, all right, we're gonna do 2 targets at DJ Moore, and even Field said that today. He's like, I hope to get those guys involved downfield a little bit more. And it's like, yeah, you think? And maybe, and he said that he was too conservative. Justin Fields said that too. So like on that one, the one clip that I posted in the blog, it was just like, all right, you had Mooney over the middle, open, Claypool and like a corner route open, and then drag for DJ Moore underneath open. And it was just like he like hesitated and then he sacked. So it's like someone's just got to be like, man, just go out there and fucking sling it.
Yeah,
just fucking play ball.
But that's when he was at his best last year.
I agree. Just go play.
Said that.
Go play.
That on the show.
that same guy though completely eviscerated Getsy.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man, was he ruthless on this? It's not that it was unfair either.
Just like some of the route combinations.
Yeah,
like, makes
he
no
was talking
sense.
about how it was when they were going for 2 when
Yeah.
they put the ball in the end zone. There was one play where Cole Kmet, there was a penalty, so it was
from like the 7.
from the 7-yard line for a 2-point conversion, and Cole Kmet was lined up as if he was gonna go out on a route, and when you're on the goal line like that, or just
Was that
about
the
on
one
the
when
goal
Fields rolled right and he went out of bounds?
No,
No.
Kind of threw a prayer back right corner. of the
back
end
corner.
zone.
It was incomplete. Nothing happened. But Kmet he was trying to be like a decoy, acting as if he was going to go out, but in reality he was supposed to be in pass pro, and he just got completely blown up by
But his
the defensive end.
split was wide.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily his fault.
It was the way it was drawn up.
It was the way that like he was never going to be in position to be able to put his body in front of the defensive
he
end.
probably should have just lined up as an H-back
Yes.
in the backfield, or at least at the end of the line.
Yeah.
With his hand in the ground.
Right.
And they just had nothing. And then they had the other side of the field. They had two guys running the exact same route a yard away from each other, and it was just like
on a flood. It's like, well, all you need is one guy to defend these two receivers.
Like,
so.
have one guy go to the one guy. I bet you that was not on Getsy. I bet you that was either Claypool.
One of them fucked up.
One of them was supposed to go to the flag. One of them was supposed to go to the goal line.
Yes,
and they fucked up.
I did see that one play where Justin rolled right and he was thrown out of bounds, like a defender was right on his ass right away. Do you see that way?
Probably.
Yeah, and I don't know. Nicky Smoke sent it to me, of all people. He's on my ass already.
Yeah. Don't let him get to you.
I was begging Miami to lose that game just because of him. And I don't even fucking, like... I knew if they didn't lose that game that he was going to make my Monday a little worse. Just being all smug.
Yeah, he didn't even have to say anything.
Grin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I remember Big Cat back in 2018 when the Bears lost in tough fashion in the opener, same way against the Packers. And he was like, who has it worse? Chief has to drive all the way back from Green Bay today, or me that I got to go in and see Liz Gonzalez tomorrow smiling.
Yeah.
And when I walked in for the first time, seeing Nicky Smoke smiling at me, I was like, this is the part of the move that I'm not ready for.
Yeah. Because we had like our own little like
miserable corner.
Therapy. Like we're all kind of in it together.
Exactly. It's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Other notes here. A lot of people obviously coming at Claypool. We said our piece last.
Cut his ass.
We said our piece
Send
on
a
Monday.
message and fucking cut his ass.
I wouldn't even blink if they did that.
Eberflus was asked if there's a chance he'll be inactive, and he said we're looking at all options right now. So
was St. Brown active in that game? Probably not, right?
he was inactive, or he just got 0 snaps, Lance?
I believe he was inactive. They asked Justin Fields today, like, why was he inactive? And he was like, I don't make those decisions.
Yeah, he's like, he can help us. Like, he's all like,
because he's a great blocker. Mm-hmm. He's a great and willing blocker. You just have to be fucking willing. Just be willing to do it.
Yeah, I don't want him out there catching passes though. He always
but if he's your fourth wide receiver, he can be your fourth option, and he can be a guy who's out there for the screen game and to help in the running game. Like he has more value at doing that stuff than Claypool does.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right about that. Two other things. Mm-hmm. Brisker, Brad Biggs said he broke his hand.
Yeah,
could be out 6 to 8 weeks. Not great. Not great. Injuries happen though. That's where we're going to kind of test our depth here. So, but
I said something in training camp that he's not a like for like with Brisker. I'm so tired now. I'm firmly in your camp with Eddie Jackson. I think Kyler Gordon could be a very good safety. He's a physical guy. He's a big guy. He makes good plays on the ball even when he's in coverage. They're using him at nickel. I wouldn't hate the idea of getting him reps and snaps and stuff and have him be the safety of the future. Yeah.
Because Stevenson looked good.
Stevenson had some good moments too. Yeah.
Good moments. I'm going to say, obviously the defense as a whole looked like shit, but he did have some good moments. They don't talk enough about year 2 injuries. I think
how far they set people back.
It's the worst year to get injured.
Yeah,
because you get your rookie year for by and large every sport you play in. But you get hurt year 2, it's
a huge development year,
right?
And then you come back year 3 because what happened to Patrick Williams.
Yeah, you just have like a year like. You're rusty. So like anything that you learned in year 1, it's like you almost have to relearn it.
Yeah. And then year 3, like you come back, like you're in a precarious spot.
Big time.
Sure.
It definitely fucks up your next contract too. Yeah.
Last note, Jaquan Brisker had a note about Bears booing. He said he wished the fans had our back more and not boo early in games. They should be patient. The first, second quarter, that's early. The clock didn't have 0 yet. The game wasn't over.
I'm so lost when people say this. And I saw Nick Addison, our sales guy, I don't know if that was on or off camera, say it yesterday.
Off.
I've seen people saying it on Twitter, like this is, to me, calling it week 1 and the first quarter is just a gross oversimplification. It's not. This is just a continuation of everything we've seen. Bad offense. Poor coordinators. Quarterback sucked.
It's true. There are enough of the pieces from last year.
We've fucking seen this. It's not week 1. This
college.
is fucking week 19.
And I will,
the whole roster over.
I will say,
now they did turn a lot over, but it was like you saw the same issues were persisting.
I think to me it was more like it was the effort thing too. Like they looked fucking lifeless. And if you're trying, if you're hustling, fighting, doing all this, like, hey, Roshan Johnson's not getting booed.
No.
Okay.
No,
He's not getting, like, the guys that are showing clear effort are not getting booed.
Absolutely.
And
calling someone a hustle should never go in a slump.
Yeah.
Calling someone out
Dave,
for laziness.
I love that fucking expression.
I love it too.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the truth though.
That's the baseline.
That's the
You
baseline.
have a good baseline as long as you're working.
And
I don't think
Eberflus and the Bears' defense. We never saw that team quit at all last year. Obviously, they got their dick stomped a lot, but this was different.
Had more fight and more pride.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm hoping they flip that switch again because that was.
They went 3-14 and they were largely a likable group.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What we saw on Sunday was not likable. They deserved to be booed.
And
yes,
we were able to say that less than 24 hours after. Like I took a step back. I was like, hey, I'm not out on Eberflus or Getsy.
No.
Like that's not fair. The 3 people on my probation still are Jackson, Claypool, and Williams.
Getsy's close. Dude, they got it. You can't. I don't like that they didn't try to build on last year at all. Like they didn't seem to make any adjustments as the game went along. They got worse as the game went along. So that did bother me. But whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we roll out the same shit. I might be here Monday saying
what the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot. It's one of those things where like we've kind of exhausted all of week 1. We need to see this team again. What kind of effort we get mixed with what kind of results.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I said it during the ad read too. We're going to be at Bourbon Street and Marionette Park for the game, Bucks Bears, with Miller Lite. So come on out, watch this game, and
I kind of wish they had a Thursday night game this week. Like that's how. Like let's just bury that ball and let's just get on to the next one. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch it there. Anything football wise or college football wise? I mean, Notre Dame, great fucking game against NC State.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see much. I watched highlights, but I didn't see much because we were in Colorado. Games were on at the same time. But Estime, big run. Started kind of slow. The hurricane, all weather delay. But that's kind of people are like circling these. They have a couple tricky games this year on their schedule. Like everyone's focused on the big 3. But I think at Louisville is going to be interesting. At Duke's going to be interesting. And so if you're going down, you're going to win against a Power 5 team with, supposed to be a lot of people picking them to finish 3rd in the ACC this year. So it's a quality team. Going over and winning by 21 points or whatever it was on the road, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, one more tune-up, and then next week the big one.
Yeah, so they got, and Portnoy just put in a monster bet. I don't know if you saw that. People tagging me, like, you just got mush, you guys got mush. Our boss put a $10,000 bet on Sam Hartman to win the Heisman Trophy.
Ooh.
So.
What's the odds?
Plus 2,000.
Okay.
So when we were sitting in here earlier, Brandon was doing his show, and he had a top 4 for Heisman right now, which is the Florida State quarterback, Quinn Ewers, Texas, Shedeur Sanders, Colorado, and he had one other one.
Oh, there it is. Pace 210,000.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, thank you. And then I would agree that those are the top 4 right now. If Hartman beats Ohio State and looks good,
be right there.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a pretty good plus 2,000 right now. It's pretty good odds, I think.
I would say, yeah.
And they're going to score points. It is kind of the only thing holding him back is that I still think Notre Dame will always be a run first team where the other ones aren't. Like Shedeur Sanders going to throw for 500 yards basically, like every time. Where Notre Dame is like, no, we got 5 running backs. We're going to get estimate his 15 carries. Like we're gonna have balance. Notre Dame's, but when you need to win a game, you'd rather have that type of an offense that can just fucking do everything.
Yeah,
and they're. I think I'm starting to. I think they're
starting to believe.
So I write that undefeated blog every year, and there's some years I believe it, and some years, or I think it has a real chance, and some years I don't. I was very nervous going into this year because they lost the offensive line coach, Harry Hestad, and they lost Tommy Rees, and they kind of it was a little bit of a circus with the offensive coordinator. It's only taken 3 games, but I'm very much on board. I think they're better than Ohio State. That game's at home. We'll see about SC, and then they're at Clemson. So they had it's going to be hard. It's hard to go undefeated in college football, but this is starting to look like maybe their best chance that they've had maybe ever
to do it.
Yeah.
Cats got one on the board, Dave.
Yeah.
They got one
Smoked
on the board.
38-7, something like that.
The first Wildcat win on American soil in 692 days.
2 years, yeah. It's been a minute.
Sorry.
Wildcats Dave back. You change your Twitter handle again.
No, they are going to beat Duke this week, though.
You think so? No. Oh.
They're going to lose by 40.
Yeah, probably. Duke looks pretty good.
They do look very good.
Yeah.
18.5-point dogs.
And they got Duke's coach is Mike Elko, who is a Brian Kelly disciple, who's very good.
He's everybody's fucking favorite coach in the world right now.
Yeah, well, you beat
including
Clemson.
Northwestern.
Did you circle a game to go to yet this year?
No, I'll make one. I'll make the trip up.
Do you
north.
think Northwestern is a better job than Duke for football?
Yes,
Okay.
unequivocally.
Okay.
I mean, Duke's not even going to have a conference in a couple years.
I heard that
That's a good argument.
I heard that they will. So I talked to somebody in athletics, and the rumor is that wherever UNC ends up, which could be any of the 3 remaining, they're such a moneymaker, and that rivalry with Duke is such a moneymaker for ESPN for basketball that Duke will slide into the SEC or Big 12 or Big 10. Wherever UNC ends up, Duke is handcuffed to them.
At this moment, though, I mean, you got Chicago compared to Durham. That's,
Yeah,
no
but
contest.
you have the Southeast to recruit,
You got
and DC.
You got, it's a better academic school. I know it doesn't really matter, but it does to an
They're
extent.
comparable, though.
And then the facilities, apparently the stadium is back on per Pat Ryan. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but the facilities.
Yeah, I just, it's who
But,
knows.
I mean,
who knows?
who knows with this fucking hazing shit? I have no idea. I mean, if you asked me a year ago, I would have said without question.
Yeah, so would I. But I also look at it where it's like, all right, they're a program in turmoil, and then, like we talked about with this expansion, the path to being one of the top 4 teams in the Big Ten is going to be so difficult.
Yeah.
And I think it might be easier. And who knows what happens with the ACC? Maybe there are 4 Super 4 leagues, and the ACC is, it's never really lived up to the hype. Although it's looking like a pretty good league this year. Florida State's back. I think Clemson will bounce back. Louisville's good.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of shenanigans we got going on out
Stu
there?
Stu
Finer's here.
In the house. Oh, Stu Finer's walked
Yeah.
into the yak ready to roll. All right. We could turn the page into the Blackhawks. Pearl Jam concert. Eddie Vedder brings Chris Chelios on stage. Says number 7's going up to the rafters.
Perfect way to do it.
You're happy about it.
About Chelios going up? Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, what does this mean for Seabrook? Doesn't Seabrook deserve it? And I think Seabrook does deserve it. I think he will get it. He's still currently under contract, believe it or not, with Tampa Bay, even though he's never going to play again. But they already have 2 number 3s retired. They have Pierre Pilote and Keith Magnuson both wore number 3. They're both up there with their number 3 in the rafters. I think they will do the same thing with number 7. They'll have 2 number 7s up there, and rightfully so. I think Chelios got it because he is back in the family as an ambassador, and he's from here. I think if Chelios was from Minnesota, he does not have his number retired. But he is. I think Patrick Kane's the greatest American hockey player ever. A lot of people argue that it's Chelios. So, I mean, he's got, I think, 3 Norris trophies. He's got multiple Stanley Cups. He just didn't win a cup here, but he was the best defenseman in the league for the entire decade of the 90s, or one of them, him and probably Nick Lidstrom. And he is like a Chicago kind of guy. He fought all the time. He hit. He, he had the offense. He had wore the C on his jersey. He was one of those players. I think I can't decide if this is like a functionality of SportsCenter doesn't exist the way it used to, or maybe I'm just getting older. But I do feel like stars in sports were bigger back then than they are now. He was one of those guys in the 90s. And I actually remember Chelios more as a video game character than I do as a player. And he was like unbelievable. You make guys' heads bleed. It was like him, Roenick, and Belfour. Like you couldn't beat the Blackhawks in NHL 95 or 94. And he was just a fucking stud. And it was just unfortunate that he ended his career like he became more of a Kid Rock guy than an Eddie Vedder guy. That's just the way it was. But yeah, I'm glad he got it. I thought it was funny how like, you know, they game plan all the ways to like how do we tell him, how do we do this? Fucking his daughter works for the team. Like, now let's have Eddie Vedder tell him.
Yeah,
so,
which was a good idea though.
Yeah, no, and it was a good idea, and it was like a very kind of cool moment. And they're part of that Malibu Mafia together. They're like best friends, so it was great.
I love that he played 26 years in the league,
Dude.
That's absurd.
That is absurd.
And he was just hanging on. Like he played his last year. He played mostly for the Chicago Wolves. He's just like, I love playing hockey. He didn't need the money. You know, like he made plenty of money, so he was. He just loves the game.
Yeah,
like people, like I think I'd have to check the math, but I think he played more games definitely played more games for Detroit than he played in Chicago, and he might have played more games for Montreal.
He actually did not.
Played what?
He actually did not, according to Hockey Reference. He played 664 for Chicago.
How many seasons then?
He played, it looked like 8 or 9. He played more, 578 for Detroit, 664 Chicago, 402 for Montreal, and
so many games.
7
for Atlanta.
Yeah. Thrashers,
651 games is a ton of fucking games. I think he won a national championship at Wisconsin too.
Did he?
Almost positive. So he's a fucking legend. I see him everywhere. Like
he's that guy for you.
He is. And I've met him. I've seen him so often now, and I've met him so many times, and he's never remembered me once, that now I see him, I just don't say anything. Like I just like, well, he's not going to remember me talking to him 4 days ago. So, you know, and like we've had formal introductions. It's not just like I just
see him on the street.
Yeah,
right?
I've had like people like from the Blackhawks be like, oh, like this is cheap. Oh, whatever. Nothing. Like just never remember. So
you're not a very memorable guy.
Apparently not. I sat behind, like a couple rows behind him at the Cubs Reds game, like maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and my buddy was like, "Oh my god, like that's Chris Chelios." He's like, "Do you know him?" And I'm like, "Met him 12 times. I don't know him." But like, because he just strikes me as a guy who's just like, I'm 50 whatever years old. I don't need to know anyone else.
Which I respect that.
He's always nice,
but the thing.
He just doesn't.
They say that always about celebrities. Like, if you meet them, they meet so many people. So like,
12 times is a lot of times.
It's a lot, but he still meets a lot of people. He gets so many people on the street. Yo, what's up, man? Hey,
totally.
Like, I knew your cousin's cousin, and I played with you for a season at Mount Carmel. You know what I mean? They get that shit so often.
I know, but if we have if we have like a 20-minute conversation in the Sonia Henney room, which is like the private Blackhawks, the famous nose biting incident room, if I'm talking to Chelios in that room for 15, 20 minutes, and at that point there's only 6 other people in the room, it's just he and I, and he has no recollection of it, that's tough.
You're just
I was trying to make you feel better.
I know, but
you didn't make the cut in his old brain. That's no big deal.
I just think, but like but he's always very nice. Like I don't want to make it seem like he's like, it's not like a big time thing. It's just like
but you just people don't make my cut. Yeah. Everybody's got a threshold,
right? And it's just like he's just like, I don't need to know any more people. You're on the internet.
I'm almost at that point. I'm pretty.
Dave
much
didn't know Lance for 3 months.
That's true.
Out. That's not true. I knew him. His name's spelled funny. And then actually, someone just made the exact same mistake. Here, I think it was Spider.
Spider didn't realize I was Dan, and he's also Dan. We've got a lot of Dans. We
do got a lot of Dans.
Dan the Oreo, Dan Katz, Dan Lance. I think that's it.
All right, though. I think we could wrap up the show.
Yeah, Bedard does play in a game this weekend.
Okay.
The rookie tournament. I'm very excited for that.
You'll be watching along?
Yeah.
What day?
I think it's Saturday and Sunday. And I think it's just on the Minnesota Wild YouTube.
Oh,
so
really? Nice.
I will be posting highlights.
We're also...
Is it preseason game?
It's like the rookie tournament. It's not even preseason.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say Minnesota Wild. I'm like, what?
We're also hopeful to do a White Sox Save Challenge for tomorrow versus Stephen Che, but it's kind of in flux.
Che has poopy
diarrhea.
pants.
Yeah, Che's got diarrhea. It was supposed to be Dave plays DB, Che plays wide receiver, Chiefs quarterback, and he has to go 50% on routes. We haven't decided if we're doing 5 or 10 yet, but 50% is the benchmark, right? We never really.
I almost feel like we should
even
do
though
like
there is no
college football overtime rules, where it's like we start at the 25 and like, can we score? Do you like that idea?
I would have to think if I can nitpick it, but no, I don't hate it.
Yeah, because
but then we need flags and shit.
No, you don't. It's a 25 to the 15, the 15 to the 5, and goal to go.
And but what if he gets a hand on you versus like wrapping you up?
No, I'll be touched.
And Steven said I can't touch his face.
Well, are you playing? That's always a rule in football.
I know.
Not
necessarily.
We'll figure it out. Hopefully it happens.
Illegal hands to the face is
Hopefully it happens.
Face mask.
Steven's draft. He's draft dodging.
You can stiff arm if you're not grabbing the face mask. If you just.
But that would be him
hand.
against you.
I know.
The defender
can
never touch a face.
Draft dodging.
Yeah,
Steven.
probably right.
So just keep an eye out. Subscribe to that YouTube. We're like 4K away from 100,000. We'd love if we got there soon.
By Friday.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
We do.
As always, we really do. But,
Eddie said he's getting a puppy. He's adopting a puppy if we get 100K.
I'm not.
In the next
I didn't say that.
day.
But I love you guys who support us and ride with us sincerely. Yeah, that's it. Go Bears. One more time. Bourbon Street, Miller Lite, Marionette Park. Come on out. Come hang out.
Yeah, we'll see you guys there.
We'll see you guys there.
Do you have live music, Ed? Should I get...
No. We need game audio.
We need
to lock
We
in.
need to be locked in.
Yeah.
I got a little note for the Bears game too. They're going to be playing in orange on orange.
Oh.
Have they ever done orange on orange?
Yeah, last year the Commanders game.
I kind of like it. Just heading to the Florida and fucking, looking like the Sunshine State, California, or no, Florida oranges.
Oh, with the helmets orange.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the pants orange.
I don't like this uniform combo, but I feel like wearing the black or, the dark colors, black when it's in the sun. I know the Bears are dark blue, but when you wear like those colors, they're hotter. Like if you touch a black pavement versus a white, so now you get a little lighter color down in that Tampa Heat. I feel like that's not a bad idea. Even though I hate those uniforms, I think that's the right call.
I like it.
I hate these uniforms too.
Yeah, they're ugly.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time.